Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. You're amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. You're looking absolutely amazing, by the way. And this is video 2 of 2. If you missed the first one, go check it out. I'm back. Yes, I'm back. It's good to be back. Got myself a bit of a tan. look. The Spanish sun. And I got out alive. Anyway, straight into some meat and potatoes as we're talking about holes. Caleb Harris and holes. What makes me laugh, right, is you've got the Jay Slater case, for instance. He's found at the bottom of a ravine after spending a couple of hours with dodgy people. I'm just going to say dodgy people. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. He ended up spending a couple of hours with some dodgy people, ended up at the bottom of a ravine, dead, with some stuff next to him, but everyone was ruled out. And it's seemingly been deemed that this was misadventure. Fell. He was walking along. Dead. Tragedy. Tragic story. And then you've got Caleb Harris, who was found in the storm drain, and they're saying it's possible that he's walking along and shit carts it down a manhole. Dead. Ends up getting washed with floodwaters. Find his remain. I think it was a shoulder bone or something. We'll touch on it in a second. There's a report. But they're saying, the thing is, we can't rule out foul play. He could have been put in there. Even though there's not any kind of signs on what's left of the body of foul play, you literally don't know. You don't know. So how can, on one case, you can turn around and say, look, there's so many things around this case, but look, we've ruled everyone out. This is definitely Jay Slater misadventure. That's the story. And then this story, they're not 100% buying it. They've got a kind of think, well, it's possible, but we genuinely don't know. We don't know. Let's have a look at it, shall we? Sad story, this. Sad story. Everything we know and all the unanswered questions surrounding missing student Caleb Harris's death. So Caleb Harris' cause and manner of death remain unknown. But police have shared new details with people about the case. What we got? Skip ad. Fucking Timu. They're everywhere, aren't they? We don't want Timu. So it says, the death of Caleb Harris, who went missing over 4 months ago, was confirmed on July 17th by authorities after human remains were identified as belonging to the 21-year-old college student. While the announcement has provided some closure to his family, many questions remain unanswered. From what his cause of death is to how his remains ended up in a wastewater well. He was last seen in the early morning hours of March 4th near his apartment complex near Texas A&M University Corpus Christi campus, and his disappearance resulted in an exhaustive months-long search. In late June, authorities found human remains at a lift station. Nearly a month later, they were able to confirm that the remains were his. A month later it took. A month later, should have just took his fingerprints. It's quick. Like that. But it took him a month. So it says, the investigation remains ongoing and a final autopsy report from the medical examiner's office is yet to be released. There's everything we know so far about the case, along with all the unanswered questions surrounding his death. What happened in the moments leading up to Harris's disappearance, according to the Corpus Christi Police Department, CCPD, based on interviews with the family and friends and a review of surveillance footage, Harris spent the evening of March 3rd at his off-campus apartment. We know all this. If you've been following the case, they're in the round, walking the dog, come back, he took the Snapchat picture, so on and so forth, right? So we know all this. We don't need it. So let's just skip down here, right? It's just saying how he was talking to his dad, imminent plan. So this don't seem like he jumped down their fucking head first, you know what I mean? He had plans, he was going fishing, he'd ordered even the food delivery that came in. It wasn't food to eat now, that was food for his trip, and it was pretty much standard stuff that he'd take with him. So this is here. Right, we'll skip down here. What led to his remains being found? Over 3 months passed before Harris's remains were found by a city employee at a wastewater collection point. Described as a wet well, measuring about 40 feet deep. It's fucking deep, that. Police told People that the investigation was extensive and frustrating. We put together a team of very experienced investigators, said Deputy Chief Billy Breedlove, lovely name, of the Corpus Christi Police Department. We had what we would consider good leads of some vehicles coming and going from the area. They never materialised. It was very frustrating. Over the course of the search, the CCPD, I don't know why that's so difficult to say, conducted an exhaustive search of hundreds of acres surrounding Harris's apartment complex. All in all, officials said that the investigative team executed over 50 digital search warrants, submitted 82 preservation requests, and analysed over 1,500 gig of data. That's 1.5 terabytes to people in the know. A lot less than the Idaho 4. Breedlove shared that the local community was also very involved, with lots of volunteers offering their assistance, which included calling in over 200 tips. In fact, the investigator said one of the tips the police received was about an open manhole located in a field about 600 feet from where Harris' last Snapchat video was filmed, which they now believe is how the student entered the sewer system in the first place. However, at the time they received the tip on April 18th, their efforts turned up no information. When they went to the location and drained the manhole, there was no indication of a body. And when they went to the lift station where his body was eventually found, they also found nothing. There's a picture of Caleb there with a fish. Then on June 24th, after Tropical Storm Alberto hit, employees at the lift station notified authorities that a sewage pump set off an alarm, which indicated that something was jammed in the pipe. When they opened it, Breedlove said the employees found what appeared to be a human bone, which we now know was one of the shoulder bones. The investigators said that they believe Harris's body, which had been in the pipe, was pushed into that lift station because of the water accumulation as a result of the storm. How did his remains end up in the sewer system? Breedlove told People that authorities still don't know exactly what happened and that it's possible he was harmed and then was put there, or that an accidental fall could be to blame. However, they do believe that the open manhole in the field, which measured 25 inches wide and 15 feet deep, about the same size as some people's mouths around the Idaho 4 case, not mention any names, coffin dodger, was his point of access in the sewer system. There are 4 other manholes on the roadway, and we cannot rule out that he entered the system in one of those. But it is more likely to have entered through the open hole, he said, noting that police are uncertain if there was water in the manhole on the night of Harris's disappearance. While it's unclear how he entered the manhole, Breedlove said that its cover had been knocked aside, but that most people walking by wouldn't have noticed, as it was sort of camouflaged by the high grass. Additionally, the night Harris went missing was described as probably one of the foggiest nights we have had. How did Harris die? As of Friday 19th of July, police say that the exact details of the student's death remain unknown, and there's a chance they always will. The cause and manner of death is undetermined currently. We don't believe that will change, Breedlove told People on Friday, July 19th. It is possible he fell, the investigator added, while going on to say that it was also possible he was already deceased and then placed in the opening of the manhole. While previously speaking with People, Breedlove explained that while Harris's remains showed no signs of homicide, authorities aren't eliminating the possibility of foul play. We just don't have enough information to say one way or the other, he said. At the time his remains were initially found, police said that because they were in an advanced state of decomposition, the medical examiner couldn't make an identification or find a cause of death at the time. As a result, the remains were sent to UNTCHI for examination along with DNA samples from his parents. Following the identification, the remains will be returned to the medical examiner's office, which will subsequently issue a final autopsy report. There we go, look. And we have a GoFundMe for Caleb as well, which is approximately the same amount of money as the Jay Slater. So very, very similar situations here. Very, very similar indeed. 2 lads apparently out for a walk apart from Caleb was sort of not involved in any criminality of any description. We've heard there might have been some potential hookups with, all sorts of people, but we don't know whether that's having any play on how they feel that there could be foul play. Who knows? But what we do know is, in this case, we may not ever know what happened to Caleb, and the authorities are being very, very open-minded with it. The other case, Jay Slater, however, not so much. Let me know down below what you think. Was Caleb Harris just walking along and fell? Or did something else happen and was he placed? And equally, Jay Slater, was he walking along? Did he fall? Or did someone push him? Let me know down below and I'll catch you all tomorrow.